Hi, this is Priscilla with Blue Wave Fit, and today we're talking about shoulder exercises. If you are someone that is struggling with shoulder pain in a particular movement, I'm going to demonstrate some exercises that you can do to help alleviate that pain and to strengthen the muscles around that joint. Now, it's not a miracle worker, so there is sometimes damage in that area that needs to be attended to. So this certainly is no way a replacement for seeing your doctor if you need to see a doctor. However, if you are looking for some ways that you can possibly strengthen and have some pain, as I said, alleviated from that area, doing exercises that strengthen the muscles around a joint is a good thing and a good habit to be in. And so that's what we're really talking about today. There's a lot of things that happen with our shoulder joint. It does a lot for us. It's got really good range of motion, and as a result, there are a lot of muscles around that joint that help it move in wherever position you need it to move in. So there's what's called depression, where the shoulders press down, where you're using your back and your chest muscles do that. We also have elevation here, where that shoulder's moving up and you're using your neck muscles and some core muscles to do that. We have what's called protraction, where we're caving in and the back is rounding, and what we call retraction, where the shoulder's going back, the chest is open, and the back muscles are squeezing tight. If I were to step out to the side and I were to rotate my shoulder in, we call this internal rotation, and it's bringing that shoulder in, and sometimes it can pinch right there. The opposite is external rotation, where the shoulder is coming back and away. If you notice, my pinky finger's coming up toward the ceiling to create that that opens up the shoulder, and in general is a good position to be in, what we call external rotation on the shoulders. And then above and beyond that, there is lifting your elbow, we call extension, and then bringing it back down, we call that flexion. And you may feel some pain in this area too. So it's certainly worth going through each of those movements to see where you're having some points of pain. And then that will help you understand a little bit more about what you can and cannot do and what muscles you need to work on in order to help that area improve. One other movement that I forgot to mention that I think is worth mentioning is this side-to-side movement here. So I can step back so you can see it. And this movement we do whenever we're rotating, shutting a door, opening a door, and specifically involves primarily the rotator cuff muscles, the sits muscles, and it's pretty common for people to tear them or strain them, mainly because they aren't being strengthened on a regular basis. And so I'm going to include that in the exercise that we do today. So I will be right back, and with the equipment we're going to use today. Here I am with my red band, and it's pretty thin. I bought this one at Rogue Fitness. There are others you can use. If you've got one that are wide and long, you can use that as well. You just need something that you can pull that has some stretch to it. Even the tubing with handles, you can use that as well. And the first exercise we're going to do concentrates on opening up the arms here and strengthening the rotator cuffs on the back side of your shoulders. So what you want to do, palms down facing the floor, elbows tucked in tight, standing tall. You're going to emphasize stretching that band and holding it out for a second and then bringing it back in. Stretching out and holding it and bring it back in. So these are not done quickly. They're done with high quality movement here. And what we're really looking for, you can see here, is that my hand is rotating out, but my elbow is staying the same, in the same place. It's not moving in and out. So you want to anchor that elbow and then take the hands out. Out. That's what you're looking for. And you should feel it right back here, right around that shoulder blade, working those rotator cuff muscles. So I have a second band here that I'm going to use with my first, and you don't have to have two, but you do want to set up that mimics what I'm showing here. You're going to want something that you can anchor your band to so that it doesn't pull away when you pull on it. And for what I have here, if you're trying to replicate what I've got, I'm just using a post from a squat rack at the gym. So I'm just going to thread this through like so. And then I'm going to take my second band and thread it through halfway, like here. Very similar to the dumbbell movement, I could pull back and squeeze the shoulder blades. But I'm also going to take my hands out to the side and rotate up. And from the side, you would see this movement. So the elbow about at 90 degrees. Then the second exercise I'm going to do is called a wide pull, and it combines both of these movements. So I'm going to pull back here, then I'm going to rotate up, then I'm going to straighten my arms and pull my arms by my ears, and then I'm going to come back with my arms straight. So it's pull, rotate, up, down, pull, rotate, up, down. Going through each of those 4 movements, and that counts as 1. And you're going to do 8 to 10 of these, and again, you should feel it in the back of the shoulder and the shoulder blade. The next exercise involves using some weight. I have a set of dumbbells here. You don't have to do anything terribly heavy, but it does need to feel like there's something in your hands. We're going to play around with some different angles, and based on where you're having issues in your shoulder, you may have to make some adjustments in that angle so that you're not hurting something that's already there, and that you can get in touch with the muscles that are around it and help strengthen them. So even standing here and pulling my weight back, my dumbbells back, is going to help work the back in between the shoulder blades. Those rhomboids and the trapezius back there are going to get some work, as well as the lats, by doing this movement. If this feels good, try doing it where you're bent forward. So from the side, I'm just going to hinge forward. I'm going to bring my arms down. I'm going to pull here. And again, this movement is pull and hold, and we're building time in that contracted position so that the muscles can gain strength. Then I would suggest doing some side raises with your arms. If you can go both arms here, great. If not, you can do one arm at a time. This works the lateral deltoids. And you can go to the front as well. See if your shoulders feel good doing this, moving the weight forward. If so, you can do one arm or core tight, both arms at the same time. Try not to let the weight rest on your legs. You want to stop it in midair and change direction so that you're using your core here to stabilize and to help you change momentum. The other exercises I want to show involves moving the arms to the back, and again using some different angles here. So the first one, I'm keeping my arms pinned to my side, and I'm just reaching all the way back. And so this is working my rear deltoid as well as the rhomboids, the trapezius, and some other muscles that are underneath there. So that is in a alternative position, especially if moving the weight to the front is really bothering you, or to the side. Let's look at doing that movement, but also hinge forward like I showed you before. Keep the core tight and the spine neutral. So what we're looking for is with straight arms here instead of bent. And I'm pulling the weight behind me. And I'm squeezing those shoulder blades. And I'm holding that squeeze. Then you can try going out to the side and see if you're able to do this movement. This one's a little tougher, and especially if you've got an impingement, you might feel it here. Then try turning your palms to the back and squeezing and lifting here. This just is turning the arms in a different direction, but still working quite a bit back here. I would recommend doing 3 sets of 10 in each direction, and consider that this is supplementary exercises that I'm showing you here. This is not a workout per se. This is to help shore up some areas of your body that just need a little bit more love, a little bit more attention. We're going to go to the floor and do a few exercises there. Here on the floor, there are a few exercises that you can do to strengthen that area around your shoulder. You're going to see me lie down on my stomach and move my arms in different directions. So again, pay attention to your body, listen to it, make sure that it's an area that you can lift your arm and work in. I also have a few weighted balls here with me, and those are just optional. Depends on how you're feeling and how strong you are, but I did want to show you in case you wanted to use them. So here I go. Taking my arms straight out, I'm going to do just arm, relax the leg, And I'll work one at a time. And again, you're squeezing and lifting that hand as high as you can. 8 on each side here. We'll pretend I did 8. Then you're going to do both. Then from here, I would take my arms out to the side and squeeze here. Again, legs are just resting on the mat. Set of 10 here, and then bring them behind you, and then just lift straight up. You're bringing that palm as high as you can to the ceiling. Adding a little weight would look like this. Because your range is very small, you're going to feel this right away. Not much movement here, but you're going to definitely feel it working. And then here's the back, where I'm lifting the balls, keeping my arms straight, and just lifting them straight to the ceiling. So that's going to help all through that shoulder area. A second exercise you can do is called the breaststroke, and I'll show you that. Reaching out, squeeze and lift the chest off the floor, the feet stay where they are. Looking at the floor as you reach through. And the idea here is to keep your neck in line with the rest of your body. Do 10 of those and you will be feeling it. Along with these exercises, there are a few simple yoga stretches that will help just open up that area. The first one's called the child's pose. The second is threading the needle. And the last one I'm going to show you is called the table. So child's pose, you're going to sit back on your heels, extend your arms, press the shoulders toward the floor, and then you're going to hold this for 30 seconds and just breathe. From here, you can transition into thread the needle. I'm going to keep one of my arms right where it is. I'm going to take my other arm and place it underneath, i.e. threading it. I'm going to bring my shoulder all the way down to the floor. Reposition my other arm. Now you can see my butt's up in the air. The goal is to try to get your butt down, but keep your shoulder on the mat. So I'm just going to go as far as I can, and then I'm going to hold it here, and this stretches through the back of the shoulder into the back. Holding it for 30 seconds. Then you'll switch sides, work the other side, again lowering those hips as much as you can, and holding for 30 seconds. After that, the last stretch, the table pose, really opens up the front of your shoulder, and you do have a lot of control with it because you decide how high you're going to lift your hips to the ceiling. So sitting with knees bent, my fingertips, ideally you want them facing your heels. If that's a problem with your wrists, you can always turn them out. And from here, I'm simply going to lift my hips and look to the ceiling. Holding here 15 to 30 seconds. This one's a little tougher, I think, than the others because you're holding against gravity, but it will definitely open up the front side of the shoulders. And that's all that I have for you today. We're going to leave a list of all these exercises and some recommended reps and sets. Look below for them. Try these out and see how they work for you. I would love to hear from you. Get some comments on what worked, what didn't work, other things that you would like to see us do some demonstrations of and to help you out. We would love to hear it. Click the link below and look at what we've got there. And please, as always, have an awesome workout today.